How do you begin changing your culture as a new manager? You're going to want to save this video for later. This was one of the questions one of my viewers was asking as a new manager. I need anybody to join my live sessions to have conversations about your own situation and what you can do as a new manager. The question the person had is, I'm a new manager. How do I begin changing the culture of where I work to include legacy employees? Legacy employees are employees that have been here for a while and they're just ingrained in the culture, and those are some of the people that you may have challenges with. Here's what I told the individual. Whatever I teach doesn't change quite a bit. If you know the fundamentals, it applies anywhere you're at in changing culture and making improvements. Not worrying about too much at the moment legacy employees, because the process that I teach will weed that behavior and expose that. Then someone has to make a decision on whether or not that behavior is allowable in the culture that you're trying to build. So let's go through this. Same thing applies. If you're trying to change a culture as a new manager, you've got to do a lot of different things, but I'm going to get you started with 3 specific steps. Step 1, you have to take an inventory of all the activities with reasonable expectations and frequency. And what this is, it's all the jobs that you're responsible for. If you've got 15, 20 jobs that your entire team does, with the frequency per week, how many times does this job happen per week, and the time it takes to do one single job. That is the foundation, because you truly have to understand the work itself and what the reasonable expectation is overall. The second thing is that you got to pull the data to understand the current performance of your team and the organization and how they're performing to accomplish the work. This is going to give you an idea of how the team is performing. KPIs such as productivity, cost per unit, and efficiency are important initially to understand these trends. And the last thing is begin tracking your barriers with an impact to lost time. So what this means is that ask your employees what their biggest issues are. They're going to tell you, but they're not going to tell the entire truth. So you as a new manager have to begin the process of tracking those barriers in the minutes to equals to hours. So if you do this correctly and you begin engaging people, at the end of the week, you're going to have a slew of barriers and how much it's costing the company. So within these 3 things, you want to make sure that you begin engaging in people. Like when you do your activity list, ask the question, validate those numbers. Number 2 is like, you got to show your people the data and what the trends are. And number 3 is that you got to show and engage people what those barriers are. If you like this kind of content, please like and follow.